If you enjoy listening to adventure stories, then you should visit TheDihedral.com. You will find stories from other members of the community and read about climbing, life, and the outdoors. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's connect and climb on!
Climb on!
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the TheDihedral podcast. This is Gaia, and on today's episode, we begin a limited series called Climbers versus Culture, where a few climbers will tackle different aspects of culture. So our first talk will attempt to tackle dirtbag culture. So today we have close and lovely friends, Payson and Caitlin. Could you please introduce yourselves?
Hello. That's all I got.
I don't know. Do you want to give me like your last name, or you keep it down low?
Well, it's so complicated that I could just say it, but you still wouldn't be able to find me. So it's fine.
Go now, say it, and that will be a challenge, and then we'll have like people comment how many.
Yeah, if you can find me, then I'm honored. My name's Payson Giot.
Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. I just found you.
That's what it is.
Do
you need like a full intro?
I don't know, whatever you feel like, whatever feels organic to you. Well, maybe yes, because this is like the first episode. This is the first episode, people. This explains all the chaos. Yeah, give a full so people know who you are and stuff.
Like, let's make it make sense. Okay, my name is Payson Giot, and I've been climbing for probably 6-ish years on and off. And I'm currently a starving grad student and reality TV junkie and climber all in one.
Love it. Sums you up to the T.
Thank you.
Now, Kate, your turn.
Yeah, I'm Kate. Let's see. I've been working in the climbing industry and climbing in general for like almost 10 years now. Time's rude. Realize that.
Oh my God.
Fun fact, I am technically an OG member of the TheDihedral.
No, she is.
Yeah, I was there and helped you guys start it, and then I went to college and was like,
and then she bailed on us, and then she
college is hard, and I'm moving to Europe. But now I'm just in Tucson hanging out.
You've had quite the life experience, though. 10 years, that's insane. I met you when
You met me when I was a baby.
17 or something like that.
The gym baby, and now I'm getting the title of like momager at my new gym, and I'm like, how the tables turn.
Oh my God. I've seen you grow.
I know.
Aww.
Don't get
That's so silly. Wait, Payson, did you say, because you say you're like a starving grad and that absolutely sucks your life and time and everything?
Sure,
Are you climbing right now?
Yes, not as much as I used to, but definitely still climbing. I say we climb 3 times a week, but that's about all we can do right now. Brian's going to Horseshoe Ranch in October, and if I can get a weekend away, I'm definitely going with him. But other than that, we're just a bunch of gym rats.
Yeah, and Brian is Payson's significant other. Just thinking people's like, who's Brian? I guess by context. Well, you've been climbing for 10 years. You climb 3 times a week, and I don't do shit. Yes, you can say that word here. That's fine.
Fluctuates. Seasons of life.
That's so true though. It's like, I don't know. I feel like, especially with grad school and everything, I've had like imposter syndrome, and I'm like, I'm not really about it because I'm working in school and doing all the not fun things, and then I just climb when I can, and so I feel like such a poser, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, I feel like that's also just kind of the real world, right? I mean, not everybody. I think part of why especially Caitlin and I used to climb so much is because we were working in the industry and we were living and breathing there, so it's when real life takes over, unless you are a momager like Caitlin over here, you kind of have to just fit it in when you can.
That's true. Caitlin has no choice. She's
Yeah.
like she's embraced everything about it.
She like wakes up and feels like shit and is like, fuck, guess I better tie in. Here we
Wake
go.
up, hungover, like, let's go lead this 12 outside. Like, whatever. I mean, it also just helps because I'm just at the gym all the time. Now that I signed my contract, I went full time there. So it makes it convenient. But then at the same time, if like I've really only 2 days off, like Thursdays and Sundays, and I'm like, oh, like I want to go climb. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to my place
Yeah.
of work. So
Yeah.
it's nice though. And the weather's at least finally cooling down here in Tucson. So you can go outside and not, die in 116 degrees heat.
Wait, that presents another question. We will soon tackle the actual topic that we're here to discuss, but you can tell that we have not seen each other in a while, so we're like kind of catching up while we do everything at the same time. But when you say, yeah, you're working there full time, you're there all the time, and then you still say that you have the desire to climb, but is there ever a day, I'm sorry, where you're like, ugh?
Absolutely. Yeah. 1000%. Easily almost every day I'm kind of like, do I really want to go in? But especially just like I loved the Inspire community so much, and then I think it helps a lot now, like coming and moving to Tucson and being in the Tucson climbing community and coming in not as like the baby of the gym, but coming in as an adult, as somebody that has knowledge under their belt, certifications under their belt and stuff like that. Like it's definitely put me in a different perspective of the community. And so it's like, I love the Tucson climbing community so much. Everybody is so sweet and just so loving that like, even on days I don't want to be at the gym, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm not super butthurt about it. Like I take like 5 minutes to throw like a little baby temper tantrum. But then after that, I'm like, I'm excited to see everybody.
Look at you.
Like I go to the gym, and if I go for a 3-hour session, I probably spend like an hour and a half still working and talking, and maybe like 30 minutes actually climbing.
Yeah, that's definitely how it goes, especially when you're socializing with everybody. But I think that's kind of how, on days that you don't want to climb, that's kind of how you can still get out of a funk, is you can suck it up and go to the gym, but then all the people that you want to see are there. And so you do end up talking most of the time, climbing a little bit. And then by the end, you feel good and you're stoked and happy with progress, and you're good to go for the next time. It's like rest while you're still working. It's good.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a hot minute since I've stepped on a climbing gym. And when you mentioned, Payson, that like I feel like a poser, I get it 100%, especially when you compare yourself to like those really hardcore active climbing years. And now you're like, but it's true. I think what I loved the most was just hanging out with people, because everything I think when you find a gym or like a group of the community that vibes at your same level, it's very enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say that you're being a poser though. Like you're still a part of the community.
The computer, yes. I'm in front of a computer all day long.
Like it just fluctuates. I feel like since I started climbing, I've had very much like a love-hate relationship with climbing. Like there's sometimes I'm like, this is great, let's do this all the time. And then there are other times where I just sit there and I just wonder, like, why am I doing this? Like, why do I enjoy hanging on plastic on my fingertips when I can literally go sit at home and not be in excruciating pain right now? So it's like, I feel like it just fluctuates. And I think I'm gonna take a bold statement. I think someone's lying if they were to be like, I've never had that with climbing. It doesn't have to be permanent, but we've all been there. We've all had those times.
There's people
like burnout's real.
Like there's people that not only with climbing, but other aspects, or I don't know, activities in life are just constantly 100% hyped all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep up that like energy level? But that's not me.
Same.
I wish I was, but
yeah. Like, I don't want to get up and train on a Sunday every Sunday. Like some Saturdays I want to go out and I want to drink, and I want to wake up on Sunday and not feel good and not go to the gym. Yeah. Other times I'm like, I can't. My body's a temple. I'm training. I'm gonna go 10 to 12.
The only thing I'm drinking is green juice. Thanks.
Celery juice.
No nicotine. And then other times I'm like, I'm gonna go through 6 pods in my vape in a day.
We mentioned community at some point because we've been rambling and talking a little bit about everything, because that's just that's just it. That's how it goes. But now let's talk about dirt bags.
Okay.
So today's climbers versus dirt bags or dirt bagging. What is, or how would you describe a dirt bag?
I think when people think of dirt bags, it's kind of everyone's original expectation of climbers, like the ones you see from like the original Cinders in all of the climbing films, like the ones that are just kind of dirty, they live out of their car or like a van and all this. But then once you kind of get involved in it, you realize like how much those vans cost. Like my partner has a Sprinter van like outside, and she's selling it for $80,000-$90,000, you know?
Yeah,
So it's like, it's not just some dirty person. They're like super cool.
So
and they do great climbing.
It's so funny how Kate, like the first word that you actually use to describe is dirty. Like, are all dirt bags dirty? Is that
Yes.
is that a myth or it's a real thing?
Oh, that's such a fact.
It's kind of conflicting. Like, I'm not going to call them the cleanest, but not all of them are super dirty. But I mean, like, even if you got a nice van, you got to conserve water. Like, there's just some factors into it, you know?
Right, you're sweating constantly.
Yeah.
But wait,
I
Pacey
think
was
you
like
have
very.
I think you have to compare. In my mind, there's two generations of dirt bags. There's like the OG dirt bags that truly had no money, no shoes, and were disgusting and just traveling around and couch surfing and doing whatever they want because they were so passionate about climbing and this was their way to do it. And then I think you kind of have your romanticized and glorified like new age dirt bag with like van life and things like that. Those people don't smell, you know, like those. Like,
So are they
let's be
real
real.
dirt bags? Do they?
Those
count?
people don't smell. And you know, if you were showering, I'm not saying you're not a dirt bag, but I'm not saying you're not a dirt bag. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you think of like the epitome OG, you're like, yeah, they smell like ass and they climb really hard.
And if you want to be a dirt bag, that's what you have to strive for.
That's
like,
it.
Just smell like ass and climb hard. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
Caitlin, that I can say you've embraced the dirt bag lifestyle.
I've
in
been
your
around
life,
it,
but-
yeah. Like when we did our road trip,
yeah.
and I think even I was the only one that didn't shower the entire time. I was like, no, we went into this with that dirt bag mentality. Even when we stayed at Carrot's mom's house, I was like, not showering, not doing it. I'm staying true to it. And then the only time I think I like second guessed that, I remember we were all sleeping in the van.
Remember Trash Island?
Mother's van that she let us take. That until the day she got rid of was like, that car smelled so bad when you guys were done with it. And it was so cold out, so we slept in the van. And I remember waking up to what I thought was like rain, and it was Carrot peeing in a Gatorade bottle. And it's still to this day though, it was one of those moments on the trip where I was like, what am I doing with at my winter break from college? But now I also at the same time, like, that's probably one of my favorite memories ever.
Honestly, I think that was the moment of the trip where we hit that, like, she's a real one type of thing. Like, you know, when you hit that level that you're like, okay, we're tight now.
Yeah,
like, we're real ones. We're homies for real now.
I just remember like waking up and like looking over and looking at Carrot, and he's like,
oh, hi, good morning.
and I was like, hey, and I just rolled back over like nothing happened.
That was such a fun trip because we did a winter road trip in 2018, I think it was. It was 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was for a while.
I think it was for a solid month. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Cold SpaghettiOs out of the can.
We would have to do just like one episode talking about it because so much, a lot happened.
Yeah.
A lot happened. Carrot and I had our first fight during.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I heard about this
I
fight.
told you about it. I forget. I was
That's
texting.
how big it was.
I want to hear it from Caitlin's perspective because she was there.
I don't even remember what happened. I just remember you guys were in a tent and I was in a tent, and obviously our tents are like
Yeah,
right
like
next to each other. And I didn't even want you to know I was breathing. I was trying to be so quiet because I felt like I was interrupting something just by existing. And I don't even remember what you were fighting about, but I just remember like laying there and I was like, don't move, don't cough, don't do anything. Like, it was just
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what to do right now. I texted somebody and I was like, the people I'm on my trip with are fighting and I'm not in the tent, but I feel like I am. And I just don't know what to do right now. I hope they're okay. Like,
okay, let me say, I don't know. Cause I think we somehow, based on like the vague descriptions that we've been given, embraced temporary dirtbag lifestyle, at least during that trip.
yeah.
And it has to happen. It just has to happen, especially those partners that travel together. They're a moment of exhaustion just hits. You're mentally drained, physically drained. It was just the most, I wouldn't say dumb, because if we actually had to talk about it, it was important to us at the moment. But now looking back at it, it could have been just a simple conversation.
Yeah.
And I was sobbing.
Oh,
Sobbing. Like I had not, I know, like I had not cried like that in years. I think I felt awful, and I know that it was just, it was something along the lines that I was not contributing enough.
Yeah,
During
but
the
at that
trip,
point,
like helping enough, and I'm like,
yeah,
dude, I'm taking care of like a 4-year-old kid and helping with this and moving this, and also making sure that this kid doesn't run away and stuff like that. I feel like we all had different set of responsibilities to make everything work.
Yeah,
but we were just so tired, and at that point it was only the 4 of us.
The end of it. Yeah, it was like the end of the trip. We had been together 24 hours a day the entire time. Like, it was bound to happen with somebody, you know, you put people together that long, that tight of space for so long, like someone's gonna snap at someone. So
I think we all did relatively well, though.
We did good. Yeah.
We snapped toward the end, and it was the couple, so it was at some point.
Right, and like that's fine. I was like, I just remember like waking up the next morning and trying to like not mention it and everything, and so it's just like, how was everyone's night? Sleep good? Isn't this cloud in the sky beautiful? Just like trying to do anything to just not bring it up.
Have you all embraced? Because, okay, we date climbers. So Ryan's a climber, your partner's a climber, right? Have you done like a dirt, like just a couple's dirt bag type of trip where you've had experiences like that? Like a moment where you say, you question your life choices, maybe?
We did one. We went to Big Bend for spring break and we backpacked for a few days, and it was just one of those times where you're like, thank God I really like this person, because I don't think I would want anyone to ever see me like this. And I just remember, just to be completely honest, taking my bra off to go to sleep and just looking, and I just had dirt like encrusted all between my boobs, and Brian was just like, nice, and I was like, all right.
You're like, that's my keeper.
Hey, Preesh, these are for you. All right, you know, and that was good. But I enjoy a good trip where you're not showering, where you're absolutely disgusting, like type 2 fun. I love it. But like, I also exfoliate 4 times a week. So it's like 2 extremes.
Yeah. We haven't taken any dirtbag trips, but also, I mean, like, we just started dating. So like I just took her outdoor climbing for the first time also. So I mean, like, slowly getting her into there. I'm sure we will take some because we're both those kind of people. But I've definitely, as you both know, my dating history, have dated my fair share of dirtbags.
I was gonna go that route. So yes, please tell us more.
Any names, but I have definitely dated some where I'm like, you are disgusting. Like, I can be gross. I think still, like, deep down, I'm still a dirtbag. I'm like a cleaner dirtbag, but like I can definitely go like a couple days without showering. But like that lifestyle, like, it's still very attractive to me. Like, I'm like, oh, you live in your car? Talk dirty to me. Like, that's right up my alley.
It really is such an attractive lifestyle, though. And I don't know what it is, because like, obviously I don't want my partner to smell bad, and I appreciate hygiene, but like something about like just seeing someone that's just like dirty and they just don't give a fuck about it. I don't know. It's kind of nice. It's kind of liberating. I think that's what draws people to it.
But like with that, just like total freedom, not even in like the lifestyle, but you aren't stuck in a house. You're able to kind of live like that nomadic life. You can travel. You're not stuck to a job. Like you just get to wake up in new places all the time. That's what's always been really appealing to me. It's not feeling like I was stuck somewhere. Like you guys know, I had a nice little spiel where I moved every 6 months for years, because I didn't want to be tied down somewhere. So that's what's always been nice about it. And it's just people, and I feel like their purest state, that minimal style, there's nothing really holding them down. That's what's always been very attractive about it to me.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that you're constantly in touch with the nature. I think the off the grid mentality, all of that, like you're all of that. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I have not had an experience dating or anything a dirtbag. No,
Not
I
enough
don't
for all
think
of
so.
us.
What?
I said I've dated enough for all of us. Don't worry.
Good. So because I don't think I feel on my end, at least I don't feel sexually attracted to a dirtbag, but I feel admiration. Like there's something about it that I look at let's say a dirtbag, and again, like disclosure, like FYI, this is our interpretation of what a dirtbag is. I guess that could vary depending on every person, but based on what we just described, I look at it and I'm like, look at this demigod type of person. You know what I mean? They go about, they do whatever they want. They're also strong and powerful.
Yeah, they really do come across as powerful, which is so interesting because I think culturally we associate power with having a lot. And the dirtbag is the opposite, where you have so much power because you have so little.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a personal choice.
Right.
Yeah,
it's carefree. And that's what I think is also attractive, because I'm not that carefree. I try to be that carefree. No, can't do it.
She's
you need someone to be carefree for you.
Right. I'm like, good on you. I could never.
Wait, Kate, so because you have all this experience dating so many dirtbags, what would be the pro and the con of dating a dirtbag?
I mean, number one pro, if you ever go like camping or go out somewhere, like you have all those creature comforts, like you have a toilet. Let's call it as it is. Like I'm fine pooping in the woods, but like I very much like a toilet. I'll say it. I'm fine with it. You can like make hot meals. You don't have to sleep on the ground. You have like a bed. You're protected from the elements. As we experienced our one night on our trip where our tents were all like on their side because of the wind.
Yeah.
But like the cons with that too is like I do love sleeping in a tent at the same time. Like I go camping, I can, if I just wanted those things, I could stay home. But also I can't just, lift my home up and take it to the crack.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and then cons, sometimes they just smell, man. We keep bringing it up, but like there's nothing worse than when you're like, oh yeah, baby, let's get it on. You like get a whiff of them and you're like, oh, maybe you should hose off.
It's like that subtle whiff. It's like they like reach to itch something and that arm comes up and you're just like, put it down.
But what's worse? What's worse? Like the armpit smell or the butthole smell? Like the
anyone's butthole, so I wouldn't know on that one.
I honest to God, I think just BO is way worse.
I don't even want to think about people's butthole smelling. God, where's your face been?
God, you don't have to put your face. I mean, whatever, but you don't have to put your face there to realize. Even when we were on a road trip and we didn't take a shower, I could even smell myself. I smell like shit, like literal shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you don't have to put your face inside of someone's taint or bottle to smell it.
Because I'm not doing that.
You can even smell your own. You know what I mean? But if you're saying, and that was and I took one shower during our month-long trip, more or less. But imagine people like you're saying that embrace that and don't take, like you, Kate, you smelled like shit during that trip.
Oh, I know. I'm a sweater. I know I smell like shit.
No, and I smell like, I'm saying we all smell like shit. We all did. But I took a shower and I recognized that I stunk. Kate took no shower. So imagine if I would have had sex with you, for example, like I would have smelled it.
I think the smells would cancel out and you could still have sex.
Oh, you're so nose blind, like you're
just breathe through your mouth, just
sensory adaptation. This podcast went from 0 to 100 just like
Isn't that why you invested in us? You're like, oh, we need something a little spicy and different. Let's call up Kate and Basic.
So whenever I post this episode and I edit it and I upload it, I have to check the explicit. Does this contain explicit?
Yeah. Parental guidance.
I would say if it's just me alone involved in anything, you probably have to put it on there. Although I've been doing very good holding back on any cursing.
I can't help it.
I'm trying to become an adult.
How come though?
On the well, I don't know. It's been a minute since I'm not saying I don't follow the TheDihedral. I still see all your posts. I see it all, but it's been a minute since I've listened to your podcast. So I didn't want to come on here and you're like, oh, our go-to age demographics 12 to 18. And I'm over here like, fuck.
Yeah, you already, yeah.
You just have to go it. They hear it, they're gonna hear it now, or they're gonna hear it on the bus.
They're invested, and not even that. If they go to the gym, they're gonna hear it. I know there are lots of times I yelled out the most random profanities on the wall while trying hard because I wasn't gonna make a try hard sound because it's not.
Do you know what I heard the other day being said at the gym? This is good. This is good. These two super bros were trying to climb, and there were slopers.
Wait, were they gumpies, like first timers?
No, they're just
got it. Say no more. I gotcha.
And so there were some slopers, and so the guy was trying to get him, and his partner was like, "Come on, bro, just grab him like a pair of titties," and start screaming it through the gym.
I can't say that. I've told that to people before. I'm like,
I was just like, all right,
boobs, I'll climb that one.
I mean, nice size.
I'd be like, don't sexualize those holds.
I would look at him and be like, probably a full B. Yeah. That's good.
Is that how we grab them? I don't know. Warm them up a little bit.
Be like, Morgan, you're really quick. Let me just.
Yeah, that was a good one. I really appreciated the creativity and the imagery. It was nice.
Yeah, that's all it is. Giving the whole personification.
Oh my
What
goodness.
are we supposed to be talking about again?
Dirtbagging, but we've been
dirtbagging. Sorry, we got
right.
It's funny how conversations tend to like veer into politics or sex. You start talking about something and you go one way or the other.
Good times.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What else? What do you have in mind? I was like going through the notes because Carrot left some ideas for us to talk about. Most of the things that we've talked about were not there. So
he didn't put boobs on. Aw. It's like he doesn't even know us. I said he didn't put boobs on. It's like he doesn't know us.
It's just been a while since we've been together, so he forgets how much of shitheads we are.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And I'm kind of surprised of the things that are coming out of my mouth because normally I'm like a full-on mom. And granted, I'm a very open-minded mom in a sense, and in this house we talk a little bit about everything, especially a little bit about everything in the level and maturity that an 8-year-old can process. But we have open conversations and stuff. But then I also have a regular traditional full-time job, so I use technical vocabulary. I don't let loose as much as I am right now, and I'm kind of surprised by all the things that are coming out. No filter whatsoever.
I don't think the two of us together have ever had a filter with each other though.
But it's so good. I feel so healing because I'm in touch with myself, like other than the different personification that I have to do either at work or at home with different responsibilities. I feel like my individual self, talking to my friends, and it's fun. Yeah. And if people think this conversation is a little too much, this is what 3 friends that I have not seen each other in a while talk about. So it's as real as it gets, people.
Right.
Let me see. I'm gonna look at one of the notes here. Oh, okay. This one. This seems challenging, or maybe not. Describe the perfect dirtbag date.
Oh. Come on, Caitlin.
We're looking at you, Caitlin. Actually, this question is for you.
Walk us through that magical night.
Well, my magical night would now involve my girlfriends. Keep myself in the safe zone on that one. But yeah, like if she just rolled up and pulls up in her van. She's like, hey baby, let's go climbing. And then we go, but she already has kind of like food prepared. Like that would be so sick. Oh, actually, all right. Never mind. Sorry, Morgan. One of the best dates I've ever been on. It was my local dirtbag that I matched with on Tinder. We're gonna call him
Good old Tinder.
I know, right? We'll call him Kevin.
Okay.
That's not the name, but that's just what we're gonna do. Kevin pulls up. Kevin doesn't even live in a van. He lives in his car, and I sit in the front seat, basically on his pile of laundry that's clean and folded because he didn't have space in the back of his car. And we go and get pizza and beer, and he takes me up to the top of Mount Lemon to this route. It's called Hitchcock Pinnacle, the one he did. That's right on the
it's
top,
beautiful.
overlooking this amazing view. When we went at sunset, and we climbed up it. We pulled this 2 boxes of pizza up and this like 24 pack of beer up with us, and we just sat on the top of it, watched the sunset, and ate pizza, drank beer, and it was fantastic.
That's a great date.
It was so good.
What was the beer?
I don't know. It was probably like Coors Light because I was still in college.
As it should
It was
be.
poor. Yeah, like we were both really poor when it happened. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. We balled out on the pizza. I still remember he's like, you want to pay for half of it? And I was like, I get it. You live in your car.
Oh,
I
that's
feel like
I have
there
money
is-
jokes on you.
That's fine. Okay, this is a different question, but if people debate over this, like who pays on the first date?
Oh, I'm all
That's
for
the thing.
splitting it. I'm just like, it was his idea to get pizza. I had brought snacks. So I was like, oh yeah, get pizza. And then like, I'm a vegetarian, and he got 2 pizzas with meat on it, and only half of one was vegetarian. So I paid for half of it, and I didn't even eat.
Minus 1 point, Kevin. You lost a
It
point.
didn't work out. It's fine.
But like for real, because I've seen people make comments and stuff. But I remember when Karen and I were dating, we would just go half and half. Be like, "You want to do?" No, I'm joking. I just lied. I lied. We would do like one date I would pay, the other date he would pay. One day I would pay, and then we would do like that.
My philosophy is bleed them dry, and I don't even gesture to my wallet.
Now that I have an actual income, if I wasn't dating someone, I would definitely I would never go in anymore with the expectation of them paying for me. Did I go in with that expectation while I was my serial dater self in the past? Oh, absolutely. Very much the same. Bleed them dry. Didn't want to pay for anything and all of that. And not to like make it okay, but I was in college. I was poor. I needed a meal, you know?
Right.
But like definitely now, like if I were to go back to being single, I would always go in with the expectation that I'll be paying. Because I never want someone to feel obligated to take care of me. Because I don't want to be viewed as someone that's just strictly dependent and using people. I want to be like, treat me as an equal, as a independent woman that can provide for themselves. Like you should just be honored that I chose to hang out with you, and I should feel the same way that like you're supposed to spend time with me, you know?
Yeah, I think I view it along those lines too, but I don't have much experience dating either. So I wouldn't be able to say like, oh, this is what I used to do or what. I don't know.
But I also think that it's different between, and I would like your opinion on this, Caitlin. So I'm in a heterosexual relationship. And so with gender norms and roles and things like that, I would say I appreciate that Brian pays, and a lot of times I do expect that he pays, especially if it's a date that he's inviting me out on. Mm-hmm. My dad is gay, and my dad always pays. His partner does not really ever pay. My dad always pays. And so, Caitlin, I'm wondering, with your relationship, have you guys established, like, does somebody always pay? Do you guys always split? What is the 411? What does that look like?
Well, it helps a lot because we ironically had to start living together because we both needed places to live. So it helped really establish like a rhythm. And so a lot of it would be like, if I pay for something the first time, like for groceries, because that's like, we don't really eat out a lot. If I pay for groceries the first time, then like the next time she'll pay, and then I'll pay after that. So it's very much back and forth. And we do the same even when we do eat out or go get drinks. Like if we go out with friends on a Saturday and we like go hard, like we just do one person pays for both. And then the next time we just whoever pays the other time goes. But I mean, otherwise, like with other people I've dated, like with my last partner, she paid for everything, but she also very much had the idea that like essentially she was the breadwinner in the relationship and was very much, I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to pay for things so that you don't have to and everything, which it was nice, but it did get a little annoying. So I was like, I can pay for things. Granted, I can't pay for the same amount of things as you can because you did, like, she did make more money than me. But I was like, she got like almost offended if I tried to pay. And that was something that was always weird. So I was like, let me feel like I'm contributing financially to this relationship, you know? So I think it just depends. I feel like it also depends, even if it is with like a heterosexual couple, like just whatever you guys establish in yourself. But there are definitely like, even within like same-sex relationships, like those gender norms can kind of almost carry over sometimes, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I know that's kind of interesting because I've definitely seen both where they do carry over and where they don't carry over. And so I feel like especially if you've come from a relationship, like you said, your last partner, you know, always paid and thought it was weird when you would try to pay. I feel like that can kind of skew your view of things and make dating other people hard because you don't really know what to expect going in on a date because you've really only been in this one rigid way.
Yeah. And especially it's like my only relationship.
Right.
Yeah, because I'd only ever dated, and then we like actually committed and we were like girlfriends, and I was like, oh, this is weird. I don't like this. Like maybe I'm gonna go back to boys. Ugh.
Ew.
And then I met Morgan and I was like, just kidding. And now I'm like, wow, I'm gonna marry you one day.
Will you really?
Stop it.
Oh yeah, I would. I mean, like it's early on, but I would marry her tomorrow if I had the money to buy her a ring. And we weren't like,
okay. And what's different about this relationship versus the other experiences that you've had that you feel that you would buy her a ring tomorrow?
I feel so safe with her. Like you guys know your girl's got trust issues.
Oh yeah.
I am a hard egg to crack to get me to open up. Like it is, you could probably pull teeth off a child easier than you could get me to talk about my emotions and my feelings. Mm-hmm. And from the second I like essentially like saw her, because so she came to the gym, she signed up for a day pass, I gave her ballet orientation. That's how we met. Like I'm not gonna say I got her into climbing, but like she definitely didn't stay for the climbing if you catch my drift. And so then we just became really great friends, and so we established a really good connection. I was in a relationship, she was in a relationship, and we both became single, and we were just drawn to each other. And I spill my guts to her all the time. Like she's seen me cry on multiple occasions, and I don't think either of you have ever seen me cry.
No.
Yeah, I just feel very safe and loved and supported. Like my dad came to town and I was like, I want you to meet my dad. Those words have never come out of my mouth about anybody. There's like met my dad, or we're planning a trip for me to go meet her family, which I don't ever meet families. And yeah, she's just a great human. She treats me nice. She treats herself nice. She loves my dog. What more could you want?
What more could you want?
It makes me coffee every morning. That part's pretty great too.
That is amazing.
Up to a fresh cup in bed, and I'm like, oh my God.
That is the epitome of a good partner.
Yeah, she's great.
That's so good. Oh, I'm happy for you.
Thanks. I'm happy.
Oh, it's so nice to see you like this, because
thanks.
We've come a long way. I'm very happy for you. I'm proud of you too.
I went from like being, I don't even know, chaos. That's what it was.
But that's fun. We've all been chaos. I think that's a stage of like, there's always a part of life that we look back and we're not necessarily proud of. You know, I think how you move past that and who you become and what you learn from that truly makes a difference.
And it makes sense now when people are like, oh, when you meet the right person, like, you'll know. And I was like, that's stupid. That's not true. And then I met,
oh, you know.
Oh my God, I get it now. Like, this makes sense.
Isn't it crazy? Okay, Gaia, do you feel the same way? Because when I met Brian before we started dating, I like marked my words that I was going to marry him when he really truly wanted nothing to do with me. But I just knew, and here we are 3 years later. So did you feel the same way about Carrot? Did you just know?
Yes. It's wild though. At some point I knew, but we were friends first for a long time. And I think that's what makes our relationship be such a healthy relationship, is because we were friends first. So we know each other to levels that sometimes when you date someone and then you become official partners and stuff, you probably have not explored those depths of the relationship, and we established that from the beginning. So I think at some point in our friendship, I said, this is my person. And here we are. We've been married for what, 2 years already? So
Oh my God.
Also, that was a thing. I'm like,
Story.
and it's funny because both of us, we were the typical that we're never gonna get married type of thing. That's an institution that we don't think is necessary, at least as a determination of how much you love someone. I don't think love it's necessarily measured by whether you married someone or not. At least that's how we viewed it. So we were very much like, oh no, we're not about that life. And I guess we definitely are about that.
Just a bunch of suckers.
Yes.
Hey man, anything for tax write-offs.
Hey-o.
There you go. There are some benefits that definitely do come with the institution of marriage, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that would be a whole different conversation. Maybe the next episode could be climbers versus marriage.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Like the interactions you have with people you date at the gym, the do's and don't to dating in the climbing community.
we could totally do
Good
that.
idea.
Oh my
Yes, let's do
God.
that.
Absolutely. We've all dated people from the climbing gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Okay, it's settled. We're gonna do that one. I don't know if there's any other comment or things that you think we left out about the dirtbagging topic that you think is important for the world to know, or you think we pretty much covered it?
I think you have to definitely, and I think I've already said a little bit about this, but I think the idea of being a dirtbag is probably hyped up. How you were saying, everything, even casual activities, are overhyped. And so I want people to know, even if you are not a dirtbag and you shower and you have 1,000 thread count sheets, like you're still about it, and you can still be a climber, and you can still be like valid and cool in the outdoor community. You don't have to go to these extremes to be recognized.
Yeah. And I feel like there's no two dirtbags that are the same. Like every single person that calls himself a dirtbag that I've interacted with is different than the other in some way. So I almost feel like now that climbing's become a lot more popularized, with it being in the Olympics and becoming more mainstream and safety regulations, so they're like hanging around a little bit longer. It is like
Took me a second to realize what you were talking
about. Instructor in the gym, I got to call out the safety aspect that's improving to keep people safe. But I feel like everybody, like if you climb, like you're in some way a dirtbag in yourself. Like I feel like that's what climbing is. It's a bunch of us hanging out, dirty, nasty, covered in chalk, sweating, bleeding everywhere when you rip like a flapper or you punch a hold on accident or things like that. Like all of us are a little bit of dirtbags, no matter like how much we embrace that or not. And that's what I think kind of bonds climbers at the end of the day, is like that common thing that you're just people climbing rocks, whether it's plastic, granite, limestone, whatever the case may be, you know?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's you I think you said it all. So you don't necessarily have to have a van and drive around to be considered like a true dirtbag. Dirtbag is inside.
The dirtbag's where the climber is, not where the van is.
That's right.
Exactly. Okay, so with that phrase, we're gonna wrap it up. So what is it again? Caitlin, say it again. That beautiful phrase.
Oh God.
I think dirtbag's where the climber is, not where the van is.
Oh, the dirtbag's where the climber is, not where the van is.
Beautiful. Thank you, people, for joining us on this amazing new limited edition episode of Climbers versus Culture. This was Gaia,
Payson,
and Kate. I don't know why I'm waving. No one can see it.
And if someone finds Payson on social media, let us know. Send us a comment. That'd be interesting. Maybe
that means you're one hell of a speller.
All righty. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.